It's an Alien Blu-ray! What's up, everybody? Rosy the Rascal 15, and don't worry, that xenomorph is not going to eat you. I'm going to be reviewing the 1979 Ridley Scott classic, Alien. Yeah, and besides, I thought it'd be pretty appropriate to film this. Yeah, it'd be appropriate to film this. It'd be appropriate to talk about this film because it's the 40th anniversary, and by the way, why am I not in the camera shot? There I am! Alright, everybody, what's up? How are you doing? Hope everybody's having a great Halloween. Y'all are binge watching all your favorite horror films, or maybe you're playing horror games, or maybe you're scaring the crap out of your friends and family. I hope you're not doing it too much because, you know, scaring people isn't good for their health. But it's okay to be scared a little because, you know, it's the season. Anyways, that's enough about me talking about what you should be doing this Halloween. I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite horror films of all time, one of my favorite sci-fi films. This movie and Terminator are the best sci-fi films. And before I even get started with Alien, I just want to give a big shout out to my good friend Sunyan Metalhead. I want to thank him so much because I actually picked up that Blu-ray with him when he drove me to Walmart because we were going to go over to Walmart so we can pick up some groceries, and I just saw that Alien Blu-ray there on the shelf for $5 and I'm like, this needs to be in my collection. Everybody should own that film. For those who don't know, this is going to be a very biased review. Okay, I'm a big Alien fan, so I may be a little bit of a fanboy here, so I apologize if I come off a little bit biased. But I'm pretty sure everybody in the world loves this film, especially this one and the sequel. And I'll get to the second one right now. But before that, let's go ahead and talk about the first Alien. And there are going to be massive spoilers. You've been warned. If you haven't seen Alien or Aliens, there's going to be massive spoilers. Okay, so you've been warned. Right now, I'm giving it my highest recommendation. If you have not seen Alien 1979 or Aliens 1986, if you have not seen them, you need to see them. They're very good. If you like sci-fi films and horror films or action, you need to see them. They are must-watch. You have to watch them, okay? You've never seen them, you're missing out. I'm telling you right now. Because my good friend Sunyan Metalhead didn't see the first two Aliens, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? I have friends that never seen Aliens. What kind of person are you? Go see it. It's awesome. Anyways, again, I'm showing my little bit of a bias, I know. So let's go ahead and talk about the plot of this film. So what happens in the first Alien is that it's about just a couple of, you know, space engineers that are just traveling along their ride when all of a sudden their ship is awoken by a signal. They get contacted by some kind of signal and they don't know what's on this planet. The signal comes from an uncharted planet that they have no idea what's there. They have no idea, no recollection of if there's, you know, any kind of activity on there, what kind of life forms are on there. They don't know nothing. And half of the team is like, nah, we shouldn't go here. This planet seems kind of dangerous. We should just continue our voyage home, okay? We were in cryo sleep, so we can go home, and that's it. But half of the other engineers are like, nah, let's check it out. Let's be the first people to check out this uncharted planet. And of course, when they get to the uncharted planet, they find these eggs. And once they find, one of the engineers finds an egg, and it latches onto his face. And they bring the person back on board, and thus we have our horror film. And let me tell you, the premise of this film, at first when you hear the movie, like me explaining it, because at a basic level, Alien is just literally a haunted house film. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's people going to a scary location, and then a monster is on the ship, and they're being killed by it. Your typical horror film. But what makes Alien stand out from the typical horror films of, you know, the 70s, or hell, even horror films nowadays, is the originality and the questions it raises with its main monster in the film, the xenomorph, as you saw on the on the Blu-ray cover there. The xenomorph has to be the most original monster that I have ever seen in a film. And I've seen a lot of horror films. I think that thing and John Carpenter's The Thing, in terms of monster designs, this thing is really scary. And I have, oh man, the xenomorph, the idea of it being a little egg, and then it comes out and it's like this little like hand with a tail. It latches onto your face, lays an egg, it pops out of you, and then it becomes this giant humanoid, almost like snake-like monster. I mean, it's terrifying. The xenomorph is a scary monster because it's just It's a fast killer. It's got acid for blood, and it's a very scary thing when you realize that these engineers have no recollection of killing it. Because for those who don't know, why I love the first Alien film is because it's just an awesome suspenseful film, and you don't know right away what's going to happen to the crew. You don't know, like, okay, I know this character's going to die. Like, no, you actually think most of them are going to get out, because this crew's actually pretty smart for the most part. You know, they actually, when the xenomorph is born out of one of the engineers, you know, right away they're like on defense mode, like they're ready to attack this thing. But as the movie goes along, they realize that this thing is just outsmarting everybody on the ship, and sooner or later they start, you know, just breaking as a crew. They start yelling at each other, not agreeing with each other, crying, screaming. It's terrifying what an alien life form can do to a crew on a ship, because you realize it just starts to tear away the crew, and they don't know how they're going to get out of this alive, because the thing's on board and they don't know how to get rid of it, and they don't even know if they can kill it, because, you know, it has acid for blood and they don't have weapons on board. So the movie is just pure suspense. It's very well directed. This movie has aged like wine. Okay, the first Alien is great, phenomenal acting, great directing, awesome camera work. I love the score to the film. I like the questions it raises, because when they reach the planet that's kind of, you know, the uncharted planet, that you realize that there's something's not right. They get inside the ship, and there's like this space jockey on a chair with a hole in his chest, and you're wondering, okay, what happened to this alien? What's his story? And you never get an answer, and it's scary. Now, for anybody typing in the comments, Rosy, did you know the movie Prometheus answered that question? Yes, I know, but we're not talking about Prometheus, because that film ended up adding more questions, and in my opinion, I don't like that film. Anyways, we're talking about the first Alien. So it raises a lot of questions. It's a great film. It's got some really good gore effects too. I mean, when the alien comes out of the guy, whew, that scene's still, you know, it's brutal. Obviously, it's been parodied in the movie Spaceballs. Hello, my baby. Hello, my dog. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you've seen Spaceballs, they parodied the infamous alien scene, which is funny. It's even played by the same actor, John Hurt, which is pretty cool. It's the same guy from the first movie. The first Alien film comes out in Spaceballs to do that gag, so cool little Easter egg. Anyways, everybody, I talked long enough about Alien. If you haven't seen Alien, go out and watch it. It's one of the best horror films. Especially if you're in the mood for a horror film this Halloween and you haven't seen Alien, go ahead, watch it. It's great. This movie is a classic. Just like John Carpenter's Halloween, this is a definition of a classic, and I'm giving Alien a 9.5. The only reason why I'm deducting a 0.5 is there is one scene in the film that involves an android, and when the android, well, let's just say the effects on the android when he's killed and disassembled, it's not great. The effect hasn't aged well. That's the only effect in the film that hasn't aged well. Everything else about this film has aged well, though. The cinematography, it still looks like a movie that was shot just a few years ago. It's phenomenal. If you have this movie, get it on Blu-ray or get it on 4K. It is a beautiful film to watch, even if it was made on a small budget of $11 million. Anyways, that's my review for Alien, and in case you're wondering what my thoughts are on Aliens, I will save that for another time, okay? I will get to that movie in another time, but anybody who's wondering, I absolutely love Aliens, but I'm going to save that for another time, and my thoughts on the rest of the series, not a fan, okay? Alien 3, I thought was very disappointing. Alien Resurrection, I thought was a freaking comedy, and I could never finish that film. That movie sucks. Alien vs. Predator, it's kind of a guilty pleasure, the first one at least. The second one, I would never watch it again. The second Alien vs. Predator, I'm never watching that again. I've only seen it like twice, and I'm never watching that piece of shit again. Prometheus, it's okay. Alien Covenant, I don't really like the prequels / sequels that Ridley Scott made to the first Alien. I think Prometheus and Alien Covenant are beautifully shot films, and they're well acted, but overall they just feel very pointless, and they don't add anything to the films. If anything, they take away from the mythology of the alien. But anyways, that's for another time. That's my thought on Alien. If you've seen Alien, leave in the comments down below what your thoughts are on it, or leave in the comments what else you would like for me to review. Everybody, this has been your boy Rosy 15. I hope you enjoyed my review. God bless, and have a happy Halloween. Take care, guys.